What's up, Metal Summoners? It is so great to see you guys as always. Rocking out here on your island of misfit toys with myself, with Angel, and always having a great time rocking out, talking about all things heavy, all things new music, all things that make everybody smile. And nothing makes everybody smile more than hanging out with family. And that is exactly what we are doing tonight. We are rocking out with the one and only, the incomparable, and the ever so awesome, our beloved DKRevelle. We appreciate you, brother. kvmob in the house. Kickin Valentina. DK, first and foremost, man, congratulations are in order for the release of Star Spangled Fistfight. But at the same time, man, dude, thank you, man, for reaching out and being like, hey, I'm getting hit up with some info about the record. Fans want to know. Fans want to ask for things. Can I come back on? Of course you can, bro. And we've got you.
First of all, what's up, gentlemen? It's good to see you guys. Hope all is well. 4th of July is on its way. I don't know exactly what the weather's like over there, but, man, it is like record heat here at my house in California. Ooh. But on the other note, yeah, that record's catching fire. And, yeah, just wanted to chit-chat about a few things we got going on. We got our UK tour coming up here at the end of August.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just added a show right there at 37 Main with Bad Marriage, because I'm going to be going there to get ready to leave anyway. And it was like, man, let's catch this gig, see Scully, see some fans, make some dough, and then shoot out to the UK. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Absolutely. Well, DK, real quick, brother, before we jump into all that good stuff, let's actually kick it over to our beloved Angel. Angel, I actually want to bring you in right off the bat, brother, because you were the man for us up on stage hosting the album release party, brother. So let's go back a little bit in time to the release of Star Spangled Fistfight, of which you were a part of, my guy.
And it was fucking awesome. I mean, you know, just want to the DK for that definitely career highlight. But it was just a lot of fun.
We had a great time, didn't we?
Yeah, the place sold out.
It was awesome. It was fun.
Oh,
Your audio's kind of cutting out on me.
Oh, you almost did because I got lost.
All right, go ahead.
Jay, can you take it for I can go?
Yeah, man, no worries. Absolutely. Well, you know, DK, when it came to Star Spangled Fistfight, you know, we had, we've had the guys on the show. We've had you on the show as well, you know, and we always try to do everything we can to you know, promote new music, especially when there's great things to talk about like this. Why don't you talk a little bit real quick about like putting together Star Spangled Fistfight? Because, of course, you're always incredibly active when it comes to your writing and wanting to get new music, new tunes, like great new songs and plenty of music videos out there for us. But how do you look back at the writing of Star Spangled Fistfight?
You know, the writing process for the band, since I joined, has always been the guys, you know, because I come from a background of a lot of songwriting and writing songs for 30 years, man. And so I have my own little stylized ways of writing, and have been like the sole writer for all of my projects pretty much, aside from Jet Boy. And yeah, so you know, through the years before I had even spoke with the guys many moons ago, for those who don't know, Jimmy and Heber had called me before they even formed this band, asking me to be a part of it. And at that time, it was pretty impossible, you know, seeing I live in California and they're on the other side of the country over there in Atlanta, Georgia, actually Woodstock, Georgia. So all the projects I've been involved with, you know, I got to have like-minded people and stuff. And being that we're all really close around the same age, within 1 or 2 years of each other. I don't know if y'all know that, which is kind of crazy too. We could all went to high school together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And who do you think is the oldest, Jay?
Probably, what, of the three of us?
if you had to go ahead and no, of the four of the guys in my band, me, Heber, Jim, and Chris, how would you think it would go from the oldest to youngest?
I feel like it would go Heber, you, Jimmy, and Chris.
Close. It's Heber, Jimmy, me, and then Chris. But yeah. So it's crazy how we're all very much the same, you know. And it's funny when we got together, when I went for the audition many moons ago, when it was actually Brad who put me in contact with them. Bradley, what's up, my brother? I miss you. Miss your face. Yeah, after they had the falling out with the other singer, and had told me, hey, how about learning a few of the songs, and we'll fly you out and we'll jam and see if we hit it off. I think they wanted me to learn like 3 or 4 songs, and I went ahead and learned like 12 songs. I learned all their stuff. So when we got there, boom, it was like instant wow. And for me, it was like, wow, right on, man. Some dudes that, you know, my kind of guys, my kind of music. We all talk the same language. It was really awesome. And short story, we wrote Sweat like that afternoon, like an hour after we jammed. We had already wrote Sweat, which to this day is still my favorite KV song, because it's like our live wire. You know what I mean? It was the first time we jammed and went, holy shit, this is cool. This is going to work. So yeah. So back to the question of, you know, creating. So we've never really had any issues ever creating songs. I mean, we can sit and write songs, you know, all day if we got the riffs and the parts. Yeah. And the guys, so the process is the guys always send me, you know, in the rehearsal room off a telephone, they'll record, you know, the ideas that they have, you know, in a song and in a structure. And they send it to me, and, you know, I get a lot, you know, when they're on a roll. Sometimes I'll get like maybe 20, 30 of them. And then I just sift through them until I hear the ones that, you know, that hit, that I feel like, oh, there's a hook in there already. You know, I'm pretty savvy with finding a melody or a hook. So there was a lot of great ideas, man, this time around. And we actually recorded 3 other songs for the album that are fully recorded and finished that nobody's ever heard, that didn't make it to the record.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so at some point, these songs will be revealed. We got a song called The Gotaways. We got one called Blame It on Rock and Roll. We got one, The Wild Ones. So these were all cool. So there's some really cool ones out there that nobody's heard yet, that we're not sure what we're going to do with. But that's pretty much the process works. The guys send me the music. I listen to it. I get in my zone. Yep. I'll finish a couple. I'll send them back. The guys will say, yeah, or, you know, hey, let's work this, let's work that part. So we were pretty good at writing albums together, being that we're from each side of the country. So it's not really a problem. And even when we do get together and jam, you know, like in the earlier days, somebody will just start jamming and boom, I'll jump in and, hey, we'll write that down. Let's go over this part. Hey, we might have something there. So it's really cool. And we all really, we enjoy the creative process. And then, you know, once we have the songs, then these guys go to the great Andy Riley out there in Newborn, Georgia, where we do all our albums, and they get started on it. They start tracking. And as soon as they're finished, then I fly in for 2 weeks, and I stay in the studio on a little couch for 2 whole weeks, drinking beer, smoking weed, writing songs, recording. You know, I go in with no songs under my belt, and I come out with an album.
Nice.
So, you know, that's pretty much the way we run our gang.
That's awesome, man. DK, when it comes to the Kickin Valentina's like plans and decisions for when to really work the writing for it. What was your guys' plans for when you wanted to really start working on Star Spangled Fistfight? Because you had, the Revenge of Rock, but you also had to deal with like the musical blackout as well. So,
Yes.
touring and properly promoting that album first started off very tricky, but then also kind of had to be extended, of course, to give that album its proper due and its proper amount of love before kind of shelving it for something new, for shelving it for somebody new. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when it came to to making sure that you had properly given the love to the Revenge of Rock, when was it that you guys started properly thinking about a new record?
Because it was tricky with the COVID and all of that came in. At some point, I'm not sure what it was, but I know that we had to cancel like 5 or 6 tours within that whole deal, which was pretty tricky. But we did still tour what we had on the books, and we because we did want to give that record. It could have been we had the record out, we only got to do a little bit of touring for it, and then get started again. No, it was pretty much a conscious decision with all 4 of us to tour that record properly, and we sure did. We toured that record for like 2-3 years. So, after doing that, it was time to put some new stuff, look down on the stage and see some new songs on the set list.
For sure.
And at the end of the last Revenge tour, we added the song Fire Back, and we added the song Taking a Ride. We took that on tour last year to try it out, and see what the new sound is, gelling with some of the old stuff, and it worked out great. So after properly touring 2-3 years of the Revenge of Rock, we went back to Europe and the UK a couple times with that album, and it was still well received. Every time was like the first time, and for us, it was time. You just know when we beat the shit out of that record, and everybody knows it. Everybody owns everything at the merch booth, So it was time to start getting that record on its way, and it took us don't quote me on this, but I want to say about a year, maybe 2 years to get that whole thing completed. And being with the, like would you call it, the musical blackout?
Yeah,
I like that, because during that musical blackout, a lot of this album and in my writing and in these songs are inspired by the whole musical blackout, the COVID, the being pushed around, mandates, this and that, all the rules, and such. That's what the Star Spangled Fist Fight is about. Years ago, I had a band called Beggar's Ball in Hollywood, and I wrote a song called Fight This Town. And then within that song and within the ideas with me, it was my band fighting Hollywood, pretty much. Well, I took it up a notch, and it's kind of along those lines, except it's my band fighting the fucking country and the powers that be. Thus, the Star Spangled Fist Fight, which I wrote that song for one of my projects, The Beautifully Demolished. I actually had a song called Scars and Stripes. That was the original thing, and then it kind of went into a better idea, which was Star Spangled Fist Fight. And I took the title to the guys. I actually had wrote a song on the guitar, and it just wasn't gelling. But I loved the lyrics, and I had to find a spot for this song and this title. It was too important. And one day at rehearsal, Heber was just doing the we're just fucking around, and it just kept going. I started spitting off the words, and it just fell into our lap in like 15 minutes. And then that's what we worked on at that rehearsal. And it was cool. And that's still one of my favorite jams, man. It says it all.
Hell yeah, brother. Absolutely. And before I kick it back to Angel and let him take it over for a little bit, how has the reception been from your perspective? How's the reception been since the release of the new record?
It's fucking killer. It's awesome. You know what sucks is all the people that can make a difference for us, they just don't get behind new music, man. And that sucks because we miss out on Monsters of Rock, Monsters on the Mountain, You know, we're a huge draw. We got over 30,000 monthly listeners, blah, blah, blah. We're extremely celebrated overseas and, you know, UK, Europe, just the States, man. Unless you had an album out years ago and you got a, you know, a hit song or something, it's damn near impossible to be successful in the States. You know, we've even looked into trying to get on a tour with the bigger bands and, you know, had an investor and this and that. Just nobody's, you know, but yet everybody fucking loves the album. So I don't understand it. And, you know, in my opinion, we are the next motherfuckers. Yeah. You know, we got a classic rock album. We show up and blow up every show. Our reviews are through the fucking ceiling. So I don't understand why nobody, you know, and then you see all these, you know, cover bands and tribute bands and shit sucking up all those spots where there should be new talent, you know, tomorrow stars. I'm not saying let everybody in, but let the motherfuckers who are exceptionally talented in, the ones who got the big numbers, the ones who've been, you know, beating the street for 20, 30 years like me and my guys.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can actually hear, you know, the experience in our writing, and it definitely shows in our live shows. Not to mention, we're pretty cool motherfuckers, man, and we love everybody who's involved any way, shape, or form with the KV machine.
No, absolutely, man. And it's true. It's facts. I mean, nothing that you said is incorrect in any way. You know, look, there's room for those cover acts for the enjoyment of the day. But, you know, you got to make room for, you know, the new guys at the party that are going to keep the rock machine rolling the whole time. And like you said, man, have been like beating the streets. And that's the one thing I've always loved about you guys is you're so approachable. You love everybody. You treat everybody with so much respect. But again, you guys all collectively have so much, you know, experience in the music scene. But there's also a certain amount of fuck you when it comes to the songs that you write, which I love too, for those same gripes that are very justified.
True that. Thank you for listening. You know,
of course, man. Absolutely.
What's up, Angel?
Yes, it's all you, my guy.
Is that motherfucker sitting in his car?
Strangely enough, he gets this like better reception in weird places.
I think we did our last interview with you in a rented car. So,
yes,
remember?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So what's up, my brother? How you been?
I'm doing awesome. Still loving the album.
All right. Awesome.
But I want to input count. If this works.
Your audio, brother. Your audio is cutting out. Jay, can you hear it?
Hold on.
Oh no, your audio's
cutting out. No, my bad. I muted my mic. Yeah, it's fighting you a little bit, Angel, but we got you.
All right.
It's just chopping in and out of.
Yeah. But while Angel's getting that tweaked, you're going overseas, DK, but you guys also announced some California shows as well, not just the Bad Marriage show, but you guys announced the Whiskey as well in November when you come back from Europe.
Yeah, you know, we've been waiting on some of these dates because it's important, and if you book a tour, it's a lot of work, man. Even if you want to book a couple of shows on the other side of the country, to get those dates next to each other so you don't have to spend money on days off, you know what I mean? So we waited for the Whiskey, the Fresno, and we're waiting on another one up here in California. You know, last time we toured, we went all the way from, you know, like Rhode Island all the way to fucking California. And it was hot as hell during the summer. Arizona was 117 degrees, man. It was like, holy shit. It was just insane. And, you know, doing a lot of those tours, that's when you find out where your demographic is and who's showing up and are they promoting, you know, or, you know, a lot of these places just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, unless I'm a Journey tribute band, man, they could give two shits. No. And I understand it's all about the money and stuff, but it is hard for those artists these days, man. You know, it wouldn't hurt Motley Crue to throw up a new band up there and support. All of these bands got their shot somewhere, you know. And back in the day, we used to have record companies and A&R folks who would hunt down fucking bands with exceptional talent numbers and such, you know, like
Yeah.
the Guns N' Roses, the Motley Crues. You've heard all the stories, how it all started. You had to make a big noise, man, and then get approached.
Well,
Not so much. It's all internet. It's all you know, it's a rich boys game these days.
No,
so
it definitely is. It's actually funny that you bring that up, DK, because that's been one of my biggest like soapbox thing that I've talked about endlessly on this show. As much as I love rock and metal music and I love our scene and I love our family, dude, we can be some of our own biggest gatekeepers, and it drives me absolutely crazy. Like I went to multiple stops on Motley's at the time farewell tour when Alice Cooper was opening for him. And first of all, why you would ever put Alice Cooper on before your band is beyond me, because I wouldn't risk getting blown off the stage that badly, because Alice still brings it. But at the same time, I'm like, I can respect that, but why wouldn't you either bring on either your peers or lesser peers or new music? If Motley wanted to do like a throwback thing, I think it would have been kind of cool to maybe do something with like LA Guns, Faster Pussycat, and the Bullet Boys. I think that would have been cool. But finding some cool band to really open up that's new and fresh really should have been the way to go. Let's hey, look, since we're calling it a career, let's give somebody that we think deserves it a push. Like on Kiss's farewell tour just now, they had Amber Wild opening up.
Yeah, his son's band.
That's awesome. I think that's cool. And don't get me wrong, they were great, played awesome. I love the songs. The stage performance was great, but not to go out of my way to be a dick. At the same time, I'm like, that's also Paul's kid. So there's a little bit of like part of my gatekeeping kind of sour grapes in that. While yes, Amber Wild's only been together since January. And the idea is that what is cool. Wow, this band that's only been around for 6 months is opening up for Kiss, and then you find out who's in the band, and it's kind of like, shit.
Yeah. Hey, so, that's the world we live in these days, you know.
Yeah.
You know, what's the success story for these bands later on down the line? You know. Hey, you know, I got discovered because I had fucking 300,000 hits on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the accomplishment there? You can, you know, people buy these numbers all day long. Like I said, it's a rich man's game.
Yep.
And there are a lot of great bands, whether they're here or they're in Europe, Sweden, Finland. You know.
Yep.
Walking the streets, man. There's a lot of bands that still really got it. You know, with a lot of experience. And it's a shame that a lot of these bands won't be seen. You know, we also have grown up with being in the right place at the right time, stuff like that. And that's, you know, that's still very true. I have the saying, there's no need to get ready if you stay ready. And that's how you get the gig, you know, and always trying to better your craft and your writing. And that's what we do, man. We always try to one up a little bit, and it's going good. It's going good, and we're very fortunate to have each other as we move on in this fucking world called rock and roll.
Absolutely, man. Even when it comes to me and Angel, when it comes to the Metal Summit, like we love each and every single one of the fans or the followers, the Metal Summoners, or anybody that's hit that like or follow button. We love literally every single one of them. And Angel and I have opened up our wallets exactly 0 times for any of the numbers that we have. You follow the show because you like the show, you support the talent, and you want to back the people that Angel and I talk to. And that's what it comes down to for us. We don't open our wallet for any of that buying numbers. You either like us or we're not your cup of tea, and we don't take it personal for either of those scenarios.
Exactly. And it feels good when it's genuine, right?
Yeah.
It does.
So ain't nothing wrong with that. You put in the work, man.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Angel.
What's up, brother?
Hey, I got a challenge for the kvmob.
All right, kvmob, listen up. Are they out there?
Yep. Let's call up a radio station. One song. And click on what?
I don't know what song. You know, that's a good question. Let's ask some of these questions and have them chime in, right?
Which song, which radio stations do we bombard the fuck out of to get them to play Valentina? Stop being a bunch of fucking pussies. Sorry.
You know, in my heart, I think, you know, persevering and working hard, you know, somebody's going to find this motherfucking gold. Somebody's going to dig up this treasure called the Star Spangled Fist Fight album. Let's just hurry up and do it, man, so we can get on bigger stages and rock more faces. But that's a good question, Angel. I tell you what, you know, RC Sleaze, you know RC.
Yeah.
Yes, he hit me up yesterday just out of the blue on my messenger, and he's like, man, brother, I love you. He's like, your music just fucking inspires me. He goes, it's just such a shame that you guys don't get invited to a lot of these events where all of our fans are there. You know, it's funny, a lot of the bands on these events are coming from Europe and the UK now, and we play with those bands over there all the time. We've had a few of them under us, you know, so to come see them here and getting a shot, it's mind-blowing to us. But we stay the course, and you know, you can't move ahead if you give up, and giving up is not an option. It's in our hearts. It's what we do at our age. You know, we've done it our whole life, and I think that's a genuine factor in Kickin Valentina in this band. I think everybody knows that. We've all been there. That's why we rally around our fans and stuff. We've all been fans. We know what it means and how to appreciate those things. And you know, it's not just always about loving the album or the songs. It's about loving the band, and that's where we come from. You know, being fans. That goes for all of us back in the 80s, you know, and 90s, whatever. So yeah, we should hit the radio waves. And you know what? I'd like to know, so far we've released Taking a Ride, and we've released Ride or Die, and most recently Dirty Rhythm. Now, of those three, what's their favorites? And I know everybody says, oh, we like them all, you know, because it was hard to choose. I think there's a lot of good stuff on this album, and I think we may have one more single in us on this album, but we'll see.
I mean, Taking a Ride is just fucking awesome from start to finish. That fucking drum beat, guitars, all of that.
Yeah, Taking a Ride has got a real street sleaze vibe to it. And I like that, you know, that's who we are. You know, we weren't looking for the big hook or anything in that song. We got the songs with the hooks like Ride or Die, Turn Me Loose, you know, Dirty Rhythm. And we just got songs that just rock, man. You know, and for us, it's got to translate well live. You know, a lot of songs sound great at home, but they're kind of boring to deliver to, you know, some faces.
Yeah.
Our shit does both, you know, and I like that about us.
Wow. It's unanimous. Ride or Die.
Yeah.
Yeah? How about you guys? Jay, you have a favorite on the record yet?
I mean, I definitely do. I definitely dig Ride or Die because I like that aggressive, like sweaty. I like those aggressive, like sweaty songs, but I'm also very hook driven. Like there were so many amazing songs on the Revenge of Rock, but somebody new just had that hook, you know, it had that that melody to it. And you know, it's still my favorite song off Revenge of Rock because it's got what I like in like the skeleton of of my songs of the songs I listen to. But I definitely dig with Ride or Die, so I'm definitely on like, you know, I'm definitely on what do we got here? We got like Angel, Said, Dorothy, Regina, Manuel. They're pumping in the Ride or Dies for it.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. You know, Ride or Die is kind of like a somebody new on the record. It's for everybody. It's got it could be a classic rock song, you know what I mean? It's got the hook, it's got the vibe. We don't have another song anywhere that sounds like that song, you know, on the album. We've been doing that since Revenge of Rock. We don't have like two songs that sound the same. We want to go different and we want to go bigger and wider, you know. I always approach writing an album like, you know, because I had it set that it was going to be Star Spangled Fist Fight in my mind until we all vote and see everybody else's thing. I didn't even have when we send messages like, hey, write down a couple of titles or whatever, I just wrote down Star Spangled Fist Fight because for me, within the writing, you know, of all of the songs and the concepts of the songs, it's like the album, it's like writing a book. The book would have been named Star Spangled Fist Fight, and every chapter was a song.
For sure.
You know, and it all fell under the umbrella of the COVID time and this shutdown mandates, you know, the confusion in, you know, our country, which is still going on. But yeah, and we're not very political or anything like that. No. I just get inspired, man. And when I get inspired, you know, you gotta write it.
But I will tell you, DK, to not fully jump on with you know, the big consensus, because like I said, Ride or Die is absolutely bitching. I will give love to Turn Me Loose and to Getting Off.
Yes,
Getting Off's my jam, man. We got to talk to guys in the rock in that one. I was like, dude, that fucking song, yeah.
So
I'm Getting Off, yeah. Read the lyrics to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Angel.
I'm sorry. When I first heard Turn Me Loose, like, that's my.
What is it?
No, when I first heard Turn Me Loose, I was like, that's my ex.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of exes. That's a lot of exes. You know, a lot of people find themselves in a lot of different songs and a lot of different lyrics. You know, the same way Somebody New. Look at the message in that one too, you know. I write a lot about relationships and stuff. In a sleaze rock and roll kind of way, you know. Write about things we all can share. You know, I don't have a dragon and a knight in armor in any of our songs. You know, we're in our songs. These songs are about us.
Yeah.
So thanks. I'm glad. You know, thanks. I appreciate that you guys, you know, get it.
Oh yeah. We'll leave the knights and dragons to Dio.
Yeah, well, there's other bands now, but you know, shit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, long live Ronnie.
Yes.
So I'm not reading any of these comments. What's going on here, Angel Alamo?
Well, Dorothy said, read all the lyrics.
Yes, she's a huge fan. She knows every word to every song. She's been to probably 80-90% of our, you know, shows in the UK and in Europe. Actually, hey Dorothy, we'll see you in the UK. She was just on a lot of shows, man, at this last European tour. So
is she in the UK? Dorothy, are you in the UK watching us from the UK right now?
Dorothy lives in Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice.
She's from Denmark, but she lives in Switzerland. Yes.
Oh, that's sick. Angel, we're being watched in Switzerland, bro.
Yeah.
And she was here for the record release party at Dixie Tavern.
Nice.
Yep. He's really fucking awesome.
Yeah, we got a lot of. I mean, our fans are awesome. I know everybody says that, but we all hang out and shit. So it's like having, you know, your friends, seeing all your friends you haven't seen in a long time. And then we sneak in a fucking kick-ass concert somewhere in there, you know, in a good little after party or something. But yeah, we love our people, man.
It's what Van Halen used to be. The party. You want to go to a party?
Yes.
And then what's it? It's my time.
Angel, I hear every other fourth word.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Angel, if you've got the music playing in the background, bro, it might be interfering a bit with your audio.
No,
For the record, YouTube, please do not mute us. These are DK's songs. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we got to make a disclaimer. Can you hear this?
I was like, we can hear it. Oh, it's coming
okay.
Okay, sorry, Angel. I thought it was coming from you. I don't know.
No, in my room.
Oh no, it's all good, brother. I thought it was coming on Angel's side. No, it's all good. But I figure a disclaimer never hurts. So
yeah.
YouTube, don't touch that dial.
Yeah, don't touch that dial. We on these. What's going on there? Shit.
That's the much better half.
You only see parts of her. You see her go by. You hear her talking and shit. Now you see her arms. You ought to just put her in one of the fucking leather masks, like fucking like the Gimp mask or something. On every episode, she just have her fucking in the back with the fucking from the Black Lagoon mask on, or fucking some shit. You know what I mean? It'd be funny as shit.
Asking you shall receive, brother.
Oh shit! See now, hey, that's how we're gonna get some ratings. Hey, what is your other half? What's her name? Unless you're keeping it a secret.
No, this is Megan.
Have I met Megan?
Not yet.
No.
You would have met her if I was able to make it out for the album release show. You would have met her then. But she's definitely got a KV show in her future.
All right. Well, I won't forget a face.
Bam.
Now, la la la.
Hey, there she is. Hey, Megan.
Hi.
Hey,
If
Jake,
you
can you hear?
recognize his face, that's Joey Jordison.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
Slipknot mask.
Mm-hmm. That's a guy,
Nice.
man.
I bet you got all kinds of cool shit at your house, Jay.
Yeah. It's this, this horror meets like rock and roll gift shop museum that we live in.
Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
Lizzie Borden and stuff, and
Nice. I got comic rock stuff, guitar.
He's actually got an original portrait of Lizzie Borden on the wall.
yes.
Really? Is it signed? You got to get that shit signed.
Well, she's dead.
Well, not.
I thought you were talking about the band. Oh
Yeah, no, I do.
No.
I do have signed band Lizzie Borden stuff too.
This is actually Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
shit.
But I do, but DK, rocking out in my bedroom, dude, right above the bed is all 3 of your vinyls.
Nice. I saw a picture of that, man. That's awesome. We're honored.
Yeah,
Of course.
We're in the mix.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. How's our Metal Summit t-shirt treating you?
I love it. I've already cut the neck out. You know I cut the neck and shit out of all my shirts.
Totally.
I find at my age, I'm just not going to wear that shirt anymore if I don't cut the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I don't even wear regular t-shirts anymore. I can't. I don't know what happened.
I stumble across these like bitchin' concert shirts that I haven't worn in like
Exactly.
because they'll still be in one piece, and I'll be like,
Yes,
I need to cut off some of this material or I won't wear it.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. I sit there and go like, man, I got all these great shirts, but I just will not wear them if I don't, because they're not comfortable.
Right.
But you want to keep them for later on down the line in case you need to flip them or something. I don't know. I got probably like 300 concert shirts.
If you still have any beautifully demolished shirts, I need to get my hands on one of those and chop it up.
You know what? I got a couple that might even be chopped for you.
Sweet.
But yeah. So I share the same sentiment there with the shirts. It's like, man, what a great shirt. But it's like, man, I won't wear it unless I cut it up. But then I don't want to cut it up and ruin it. Well, you know what? I've done it with a lot of shit, and I'm talking jackets too. Cut the sleeves off into a vest, and now you'll wear it.
Oh well, your skeleton hoodie has become that of legend.
Dude, that thing, I've had that thing for almost 27 years. I got that from the original Hot Topic in Hollywood, up at the Universal City Walk. And that was a thing too, because it used to have the sleeves with the skeleton thing.
Yep.
And it was like, I'm just not going to wear it like that. I cut it off, man. And I still have that. And that thing could tell stories, brother.
I'll bet. I remember you actually rocked that at M3 with Jet Boy. Yeah. I remember.
And I rocked that European tour with that. Yeah. Now I think about it, that thing's been around the block. Yeah.
I got a question. Have you ever talked to Joey Jordison?
I never have. I never met him. But I did see them in an early Oz, when they were on Ozfest. Yeah, it was a real early one too. But yeah, that was the only one time that I did, and I saw Pantera that day too, I think. like an early Ozfest.
Nice.
I
But
got
yeah,
to see Slipknot. They opened up, well, randomly made an appearance at HF Festival out of nowhere, and that's how I met Joey. And he's the same height as me. He is 5'3".
well, Joey it was Murder Dolls, I think, is the first.
Yep.
Well, after he went and did the Murder Doll thing, which I played with Eric Griffin in a band. I don't know if you know that for a little while. With
I
the
was like,
Napoleon.
she doesn't know that you guys were in a band together. You and I had talked about it.
Yeah, that was a weird time.
He worked with
It
Eric
was
Griffin.
He was in a band with Eric Griffin.
it was the Napoleon Blown Aparts.
Yep.
And it was Ajax Garcia. He's a friend of mine. I grew up with him for a long time. We're all from the same, neck of the woods up there in Fresno. And he hit me up. Because he always sang and played guitar. And I did that for a minute too, and I want to be a front man. That's what I do, But so he was like, man, I want to try you out and see if you'd be interested. So we played at the fucking Troubadour, and the lineup was me, I was singing, Ajax guitar, Eric Griffin on the bass, and Jess Mendez, who later on went and played Jet Boy with me and became Jason Newsted's drummer. And he lives here in Fresno with me.
Wow.
And we opened for the Backyard Babies, dude, at the fucking Troubadour.
Love that.
Which when I met Dragon, because we both have the Spider-Man tattoos.
Yep.
And we had that conversation at Soundcheck. That was got to be like 2003. I'm guessing 2002, 2003. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But, hey, Carla.
You're a Marvel guy.
I am. I'm a DC. I'm a Marvel DC. Me and Jay are in a lot of stuff. Jay's more horror. I'm more
I'm a DC.
I'm more comedy. Yeah.
Marvel. See, I do Harley Quinn.
Nice.
I impersonate her and everything.
Are you really?
Yes.
Arlene Sorkin. Was it Arlene Sorkin?
Wrote it down.
Hi, you play. And how you thought it was just another bubble-headed bump. But I got news for you. I'm not even a real plot.
Dude, I could see a Joker and a Harley Quinn right there. Jay
Come on,
and your lady.
don't
That's
you
a good
wanna
one.
go Harley?
That's weird that you said that. I just read a thing on Arlene Sorkin last night. The one who voiced the animated Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
On Batman the Animated Series.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah. So how weird we're talking about that right now.
I got told if I would ever meet Arlene Sorkin, rest in peace to her, that she would be very impressed with my impersonation.
She definitely would, because you got it down. I'm impressed.
I never even had to practice. It just came to me naturally.
Oh yeah.
You could be Mr. J.
Mr. J.
Mr. J.
That could be you.
Oh yeah, that's definitely me, 100%. Angel,
But
let's
he's
kick
not
it back down to you, brother.
misogynistic, though.
No misogynistic when it comes to that. I love me, my lady.
All right, Angel.
Angel, right back to you, buddy.
Seriously, brother. What a mission. Can we talk about that?
One more time, bud.
Breaking up a little.
Can I see the people on here?
Yeah, on the side, DK, it should give you the option of like a private chat, or you can click onto the comments side and you'll be able to see those as well.
Oh, there's a chat. Let's see.
So it'll say private chat, and then next to that it'll say comments. If you click on
Yes.
comments, it'll pull up what everybody's also saying.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
That one really kicked.
Oh, all right. Let's read a couple of these. Because I know this thing goes by so fast that we don't get to, if people got questions. I see Carla Rice, KLOS. Bob Seger would sometimes personally audition opening acts, basically unknowns. before all of his tours. A lot of those artist bands went on signing record contracts. It was real. I know, man. See, those were the days. And I love me some Bob Seger. He's one of the best American songwriters ever. What's up, JS? Pets No More. I know that's your temporary account because somebody hacked you. And I'm sorry for not accepting you, man. JS Pets and shit. I see your face and I don't see your name. But I know it is now, so what up? What's up, Lisa? Cousin Manuel says ride or die. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of ride or dies here. Yeah, man, that song's ready for radio. That song's it's fucking killer. We did a small little lyric video, and I thought that came out great. Greg Peters, all right. Angel, you had mentioned the Whiskey A Go-Go. You've never been to Hollywood?
Nope. Never been there.
Dude, what a better way to go to the fucking whiskey than with me and the guys. Jay, you whiskey, right?
No, actually.
What?
So it looks like we're all gonna pop our whiskey cherries, brother, with KV.
Dude, you should, because that whole, the whiskey's on the corner. You walk up to the Roxy. We have a dinner and a small little meet and greet at the Rainbow. Dude, it's all just right there.
Sweet.
On 2 blocks. And it's a lot of fun. It's not just all about the whiskey, man. It's about all us hanging out. Then we go to the Rainbow. Then we go and jam at the whiskey. Yeah, dude, you guys got to come, man. I can't believe you have not been. Yeah, and what a better excuse to go.
100%.
That's November 7th. And then you got to shit. Since you're here, then you got to come to Fresno. It's only a few hours away. And we're still looking for a Saturday because we have the Thursday at the whiskey, Friday in Fresno, which we sold out Fresno last year. That's like my hometown. My hometown's Kingsburg, but Fresno's the city where I go and play and do a lot of work. And then we're waiting on a Saturday date. And to be honest with you, I'm not mad if we don't get a Saturday date, man, because then I get to have a party at my fucking house. You guys come to the Revelle Manor and party with me. I got the drive-in movie theater in the backyard, dude. My neighbors are cool. We party till the sun comes up, brother. So yes, you guys have to come.
Sweet, sounds good.
We're going.
Does anybody have any questions regarding the tours, the dates, maybe a story or two, a show you went to?
Yeah, Metal Summoners, pump them in, guys. We want to hear all about your KV interests and experiences.
Yeah. I saw Jimmy Burdine was on there creeping around. Because we just spoke the other day. Like I said, I'm going to be coming at the end of August to go and get ready to fly out for our UK tour. And then Scully hit us up with this opportunity. So we're going to, get there a little bit early. We're going to hang out. We're going to party. We're going to, rock, see everybody, make some money.
Hell
and
yeah.
then head out to the UK.
We got Sed saying Angel and Jay need to come out to California in November. Sounds good to us.
Yes.
Yeah, DK Angel's saying, will the Kiss movie screening be happening?
Absolutely. You know what? We will watch movies, and at midnight I only watch strange movies. You're not watching any real good movies. Like I show movies like Gummo, Pink Flamingos, the Doom Generation, The Dark Backwards, and then at midnight when we're pretty toasted, normally I'll throw on The Wall or I'll do Kiss Meets the Phantom in the park.
Nice. Midnight show of Rocky Horror.
I haven't shown Rocky Horror yet, but I'm going to. See, we like the same shit.
Oh yeah.
And trust me, if you guys do come down and I got you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Say a sentence.
I hate you.
It's still messing with you a little bit, Angel, but it sounds like we're getting you better. A little bit better.
We're definitely fine.
I'm telling you, yes, you guys would fucking love it, and you're probably ready to get out of town for a minute.
Yes. All the time.
Regina Rand. Hey, Regina, what's up? She wants to know who came up with the artwork on your new record.
You know, our the guy who designs most of our stuff is Skaz. He's a friend of the band. I don't think I've met Skaz, but he's really good at taking our ideas and making them into kind of what we envisioned. Look how gorgeous that is. Isn't that fucking cool?
Yeah.
I remember originally the idea was the fist, but I remember Chris showing me something, and originally the skull rings were going to be like our faces.
Well, I was gonna ask, is a skull ring a representation of each band member?
It's supposed to be. And originally it was a fist that had skull rings that kind of with our faces, but it didn't look right. It looked kind of cheesy. So then we went back and I had mocked up something too. I just took one skull ring and made it identical, all four. And was thinking of having the flag tattooed on the hand, right? You know, then we were all talking about that thing. Next thing you know, they sent it off to that dude, and boom, there it is. And he added like the broken glass and everything, which is cool. If you ever go and look at all the artwork and stuff in our records, it's got a cool theme to it. You know, the Revenge of Rock has got, you know, that whole vibe. This one's got the whole vibe with the blood and you know, the colors, and you can tell it's like official, which is cool. So yeah, shout out to Skaz, man. He does a lot of great designs for us and probably continue to do it. We're happy with him.
Go ahead, bud.
Thank you for that question, Regina. Angel Little, what did that say? They need a ladies what? We need a ladies tank. Oh, a ladies tank top? Is that what she's trying to say? Well, the East Coast, you know, dates have just come sporadically. We're waiting for Lynn to book us because we toured, like I said, last year at this time, and it was too damn hot to travel through like Vegas and Arizona. So I think, you know, as opportunities open up, and that goes for all of you folks, man. If you got a, because everybody asks us all the time, when are you coming to our town? When are you coming through? Well, we have to hit the ball over into your court, and you need to tell your venues to contact us, or you can do it by messaging us at kickinvalentina@gmail.com, or you can just simply message us on our Facebook. If you got a name and a number, we send it off to our guy Len, who's our booking agent, and he'll get in contact with them, and we'll see, you know, if it pans out. Shit, we'd love to go everywhere, but like I said, a lot of these places, man, they just don't show up, you know, and that's a shame because everybody wants us to come to their town, but when we do come through, you got to show up, and all the diehards do it. And you know what? It's always a good time, man. It's always a good time. The biggest, the smallest place, we have a blast every time, all the time. So thanks for that. As far as the tank top shirts, you know, what was it, a little while back? We had requests for women's shirts, right? So we bought a bunch of them, and then nobody bought them. So, and they definitely don't buy them in Europe or the UK. They like the t-shirts, you know. But yeah, who knows? You know, if we get a big enough demand for a certain item, yeah, we're about making everybody happy, at least best we can. You got to buy them though. Thank you, Angel.
Hey, Angel, pull up Brian's thing. I think there it is. I know that DK can appreciate this one.
Yeah, we need some tattoos. I got mine. Where is mine? Is it back there somewhere? You see Scully?
Yep, there he is. Scully with the spade.
Yes. I'm the only one that's got a Kickin Valentina tattoo in the band.
Oh, really?
I try to get tattoos as often as I can. I got this one right here at Call of the Wild Festival. I remember because we've been playing there. The only year we didn't play the Call of the Wild was this last year. Until then, we were there through the inception. And not this year, the previous years, they always have like a questionnaire for all the party goers. Like, what can we do to make this better next year? And I was like, a fucking tattoo booth, dude.
Yeah.
So they hit me up personally in my thing, and they go, man, we did what we got one for you, and we're gonna hook you up with the fucking free tattoo. Nice. So I was the first one. I was the first one going in, and what's weird, it says Wild One, and I wrote the song "The Wild Ones" about that. So,
hell yeah,
story in that, and then later on, and that's a shout out to Josh from Black Anvil Tattoo in the UK. And then later the next day he ended up tattooing Heber and Chris. Chris got the 2 F holes on his hand, like his base, the F holes.
Yeah.
And Heber ended up getting a thing on his hand. It's like a cross with 4 little stars, for his family. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where Jimmy was. Jimmy was all fucking off because he should have got a tattoo too.
Nice.
Maybe next time. But if we're ever like on downtime when I'm at a venue, I'll walk to find a tattoo parlor and try to get a tattoo.
Have you ever thought about popping something on the face there?
I have. I think I'm gonna put something over here off to the side. I may shave my sideburns and just have 2 lightning bolts, some old school ones.
Oh, nice.
But yes, yeah. But I need some new ink pretty soon. I just hire my guy. He just comes to my house normally. Sweet. So that's the way to do it. You don't got to deal with the phone ringing and his old lady showing up at the fucking tattoo parlor. You just hide him out at my house, a 12-pack of beer, one of these, and some loud music for the next 6 hours.
KV tattoos at DK's house.
Yeah. But that's a great idea. Let's get some tattoos, fellas. Hollywood.
Yes.
Sounds good.
There's one right across the street, fucking 1 block up, the Purple Panther Tattoo Parlor right by the whiskey.
All right.
I'm not kidding. What else we got going on? And yeah, good comment there, Brian. Tattoos for sure. Why American cheese in my tacos? All right. I don't know if you guys know this. It's been so long ago that one morning I got up and I did an instruction on how to make my rock and roll tacos. Right? And well, actually my super crispy rock and roll tacos. And you get a piece, a craft single, and I cut it, or bend it in half, and I use the triangle that I put in there, with the ground beef, maybe some lettuce and onions after you had already deep fried the shell. And then I put the fucking whole taco back in and fry it again. It's the best. And, craft singles, originally when I made these many, many, many moons ago, that's what I had. You don't always got the grated cheese, so I stick with what works.
Nice.
And thanks for that, Mr. Little. What cities besides Atlanta are you hoping to book on the East Coast? I'd love to get up to Baltimore again. Right?
Yes.
We've got a lot of family up that way, Jay, right?
Yeah, 100%. Actually,
yeah.
I did see our beloved Lees all together. Brad, Angie, Jeannie, who's watching right now, and our beloved Kyler. They were all there with me at the Heritage Festival where we saw Steven Adler.
How awesome. You know, those are some of my favorite people. That's like my family. You know, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but Brad Lee, I knew Brad, I'm pretty sure before the guys did. I've known Brad. God, Brad's the reason why I'm in this band.
Yeah.
You know, Brad, I mean, since the beginning, when I told you, like, Jimmy and Heber called me, you know, back before they even formed the band, trying to form this band.
Yeah.
It was through Brad.
Well, I think the first time that we all met each other was at Spring Stampede with Lizzie Borden when you were playing with Beautifully Demolished.
Get the fuck out. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, short story. I'll give you the whole scenario after that. After I got out of Jet Boy, I was already working an album with my Beautifully Demolished thing, which I had did all myself, you know, but I needed to go and fucking play some gigs. So I had to put a band together. And you have no idea, dude, back in the day, I used to be able to just put an ad out, boom, and I'd get everybody I need. I'd have my pick of the cream of the crop. That was about the time when I realized the music business and people like me are gone. You know, there's just, LA was fucking dried up. I think everybody moved to Vegas at that time. Guys like around my age that I used to run with had already jumped in, took a gig. You know, I remember at this time, Troy Patrick Farrell, when he got into town, I had the band Star 80 that I was putting together, and we were looking for a drummer. He came in, he was new, you know, in town, and he was fucking amazing. That guy could learn like 7 songs in like one rehearsal, and he was exceptional. And then I had gotten a fight with my stripper ex-psycho, and he let me put all of my shit at his house. So we were like boys. And then I had booked a gig to come up here to Fresno to try out the band, right? And that's when he told me that he went and auditioned for Mike Tramp and then he wasn't going to be able to do the gig. And I was like, fuck. But yeah, and you know, we're still friends. I haven't seen him in a while, but last time I did see him, I was in Jet Boy. And he was right after that, on that Motley final tour with Alice Cooper and stuff, he was drumming in the Raskins.
Oh, yeah.
And then San Francisco with the Shoreline Amphitheater. But he ended up coming, you remember when I had the pirate radio at the next bar? I used to do all the Friday nights.
Yep.
He came out to one of those and we hung out and drank and talked and stuff. So, yeah, there's just going through the Hollywood days. There was so many of us. Like Michael Thomas used to be in my band.
Yeah.
The Radio Children, and he quit. He didn't, because he didn't want to be in an 80s type thing. He was into Godsmack, and he had a band that he went and did called Engines of Aggression. And, you know, funny enough, here he is playing fucking 80s. I think he went and played after that too. You know, when I was approached to play guitar in Love Hate, when they were playing with Dio, I drove all the way to fucking SeaWorld in San Diego. Wendy Dio called me. I had her cell phone number, and she gave me all the directions to go down there and meet with Jizzy and my drummer Robbie Black from Alley Cat Scratch, who was my Tommy Lee in the very first Motley Crue tribute band I formed in Hollywood in 1995. I drove all the way down there with my ex-girlfriend, hung out, and this is when I had the Radio Children with Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
And we went and recorded 4 songs, and they were playing it on KLOS Los Angeles. So we were picking up, you know, getting some tread. And they were like, dude, they were like, you can't leave us right now. And I was like, you know, because the leader of the band. So I was like, all right, fuck that. I'm going to pass up that opportunity, and we're going to stay here. Because I'd have been gone for like 6 months or something. But when I went down to SeaWorld, I hung out with them, Simon Wright was an old friend of mine at that time from Fresno, playing the band here. He was drumming in Dio. Saw the Dio show, hung out with Jizzy, and also Cordell Crockett was playing bass, and he's my old neighbor from North Hollywood, Ugly Kid Joe bass player.
Yeah, Ugly Kid Joe. So
that was the lineup. So I turned it down, man, and they were kind of pissed at me. And then 2 weeks later, Michael quits the band. So, you know. But where would we be without these mistakes and little pitfalls? So, I stayed hungry, man. I'm more hungry these days than I ever was back then because I'm a little more focused.
For sure, man. And how was so? Getting back, how did the booking of your gig with Lizzie Borden at Spring Stampede come about?
Okay, this is interesting. Let me think real quick. I want to say, no, because I didn't know Brad at this point. Who was it? I'm trying to think who it was that put me in contact with Bill Chavis. Because Bill Chavis is the one who brought me there. I was working. He was interested in doing something with me. I think he saw me at M3 when I was in Jetboy and found me on Facebook. Because I talked to that guy on the phone for hours and hours before I even did anything with him. And he was interested. He was forming the High Vol, the HVM at this time. He had the logo and everything. And his partner, Johnny, was putting on that Spring Stampede thing. So he's the one that flew me and the band all the way out there. And yeah, it was Lizzie Borden. There was a bunch of bands on board. I can't remember how, exactly who. But Sidna Willis. You know who Sidna Willis is? Sidna, awesome friend of mine. She knew me from Facebook when I played at M3 with Jetboy. And I remember her messaging me saying, let's meet up at the bar somewhere at M3 and I'll buy you a drink. So I remember meeting her at the bar while it was pissing down rain and Whitesnake was performing. And we took a picture together. And so when I came back to do that White Marsh, Maryland, Sidna was like, I'm totally coming and we're going to hang out again. And she got there early during the day. We were all there signing autographs and shit like that and drinking way too much wild turkey. and I was like, man, she goes, do you want to go get a tattoo right now? We can't just sit around here and drink all afternoon. You got to go play. And I was like, yeah, I want to get a tattoo. She goes, I got a friend named Brad. He's right up the road. Let's go down there. So I was like, yeah, let's go. I was already got a good little buzz going on. So we went to this tattoo parlor, and it was Brad Lee was in there tattooing. And he goes, what do you want, man? And I was just buzzing enough to be like, you know what? Why don't you just tattoo beautifully demolished across my throat? And Sidna was like, oh, you sure you want to do that? And I was like, yeah. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And Brad just drew it up and fucking did it. And then I remember when I was done, Brad goes like, that'll be like $200 or something like that. And I was like, dude, I only got like $40. And he was like, oh shit. He goes, well, I tell you what, I'm coming to your show tonight. So just hook me up with some free stuff. And I hooked him up with free drinks all night, entry, got VIP treatment. But the funny thing is, when I got done doing the tattoo, we went down to get into the car, and Sidna locked the keys in the car. Oh, now we're stuck at the fucking tattoo parlor. We can't get in the car, and I don't really remember how we got in. I think somebody went and got a coat hanger, one of those things, and we made it back, and we did the show, and that was that. And speaking of Bill Chavis, man, it wasn't too long after that. Because I was, we were going to work on stuff, and then he started getting super busy, and I got super busy, and we kind of parted ways, and in light of what happened to him in the last few years. Yeah, he was a good guy. Him and his wife, I went there and had dinner with them and stuff. So, yeah, it's really strange how,
Yeah. That was absolutely a crazy situation, especially within a week. I mean, that was insane.
It puts things into perspective, man. It does. And under that COVID umbrella, we lost a lot of good ones. So, reach out to your folks, man. Let them know, man, you're still around and still like hearing from them because ain't nobody promising you tomorrow.
100%, man, for sure. Angel, let's kick it back to you, my guy.
Another question from Angel. I love the breakdancing song. What's the backstory?
Fuck yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. I'm surprised that song ain't doing big numbers. It should be. It just needs to get in the right ears, man, and in the right hands. to put it in the right ears. That song, when I was in the studio, because when I went in, for the first time, I hear like some of the stuff that they left, the guitars, what they sound like, the drums, the bass, and it was originally a pretty cool, typical sexy rock. I wanted something huge. I wanted it to be, you know, when I go to do my writing, I'm always looking for the hook, and I'm always looking for something that we can do with our fans, you know, and with the audience. So the woes and the yas and stuff kind of take you back to the day of like us listening to early Motley or a Kickstart My Heart or something. I'm always thinking about, man, I want something to go to television. I want something to go to a movie. You know, that's where the money is. And if I can get it to work live and in, you know, a television setting or something. But anyway, as soon as Andy played me the intro to that song with the guitar, with that galactic guitar sound, that I went back to my notebook and changed all. I go, man, this song is about a woman from outer space. So I went and changed all the lyrics to be about having an intimate moment with a woman from outer space. Thus, Dirty Rhythm was born. You can read the lyrics during the album, but yes.
Yep.
And it's a fun party song too. You know, we like having those. You got to have an album on at your party that's just fun to party to, you know. And I think we've completed. I think we did that twice already with Revenge and this album, and even the EP. You know, Chaos in Copenhagen, which is a little gem itself. So thank you, Angel, for that question.
Festival in Tennessee.
Yes. Festivals, man. Festivals, that's the ticket. That's where you want to be. I mean, we enjoy the small places, of course, you know. You know, we have the saying, you show up and we will blow up. The festival stages are the fucking shit. Because then when you're done, you get to go hang out, drink a beer, and meet all the, you know, other places. There's Hebron, Pavilion. What up, player? I saw my guys chiming in. Christian Little. Hey, I can't wait to see you guys. I hope you guys can, you know, let's do a quick plug for that the Scully Entertainment Show, which is what's the date on that? You guys have it offhand. It's a Wednesday, I think. Out there in Beaufort, Georgia. Bad Marriage, Kickin Valentina. We just boarded that ship. Like I said, we're already headed to the UK, so might as well come a little bit earlier and rock some faces and see some friends and make a little bit of dough. So yes, you know, and we understand it's a Wednesday, but I think a lot of people are already coming through town to go to that Monsters on the Mountain gig. So if you're rolling through, man, stop by and party with us. Say hello, and let's pack the motherfucker out. There's the UK dates that will be coming shortly after that Beaufort gig. We got a pretty good run this time. Looking at a hopefully super successful UK tour. You know what's cool? In the midst of them tour dates, we're having our own festival, own rock festival. They call it Kick Fest after Kickin Valentina. So we get our own, you know, rock festival right there in Nottingham. Thanks to our good friend Lisa Morrison, who's amazing and we love her. Hi Lisa, if you're watching. Can't wait to see you and hang. And to all the folks in the UK awaiting this Star Spangled Fist Fight and party, we can't wait to see you.
Yes.
And it's gonna be good. We will not let you down. So show up and we will blow up.
Yep. It's a cool pairing too with the Midnight Devils. We love them. They're family too.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to partying with those maniacs. See, that's what I thought too. I was like, man, look at all the entertainment that evening. You know. not to get too ahead, but I wouldn't mind. I already got some intuition that this is going to be a lot of fun, and why not? Get a band like the Midnight Devils to come and do some U.S. dates with us. Because I tell you, these days it's about getting 2-3 bands together and going out and combining, our followings for one good rock show in your town if you want it. So check with your local venues. Make some noise for us. We're working hard behind the scenes. And we love our kvmob.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah. What do we got there?
Well, thank you, Angel. We just love you all so much, and I absolutely agree with you, man. When you get a good, it's very rare, finding good chemistry, not only within band members, but with fans too. There's a lot of bands that don't really give the fans too much, unless you got the money. Yeah. And Kickin Valentina meet and greets will always be, free. And for those of you who notice, we hang out, we go and hang out and watch the bands too. Not as much watching the bands as we're hanging out, drinking and partying with you guys, right, Angel?
Yep, I can testify to that.
So, yeah. We look forward to seeing you just as much as you probably look forward to seeing us. So, thank you, and we appreciate that. Angel, I hope to see you all soon.
Definitely. We're coming to the West Coast.
Bring a musician back. Sacrifice one. What? I'm assuming you say bring one back from the, not just from, his, not just being, dead in the music business. You're talking about bringing somebody back from the grave, right?
Yeah, back from the grave, and who would you sacrifice in their place?
I would bring back Bon Scott. And I'd let him have Adam Levine.
Oh, there you go, Angel.
I hate
that. I had to come up with some shit.
Hey, that's a good choice.
Oh, Bon Scott, man, he's the reason why I write the way I do and do the things I do, in my younger years, man. I lived through that man's stories. Oh, that's a good question. What is your earliest memories of the Merriweather Pavilion? I tell you, I had never been to Baltimore at that time. When I went with Jet Boy, we just got back from doing 22 shows in Europe. When I had joined Jet Boy, they were already scheduled to go, and then Mickey, the original singer, just didn't go. Isn't that funny? Because I've had a couple of bands already do that. I'm like the dude that swoops in and takes you on tour and then makes fucking music with you. But we went and did that. And then when we came back, I remember our manager saying, like, they already think that Jet Boy is kind of, there's other bands playing or whatever. And he goes, but I tell you what, we're on a roll right now. He goes, why don't we just get a good group to bombard their and I believe at this time it was their MySpace. If you remember MySpace, folks, kids. And so we did. And then they go, all right, let's bring them back. Because they had played a couple years before. And funny enough, that particular year was the year they started that kicks off party on Friday nights.
Yeah.
They never did it before. So they were going to try out something. And this is when they still had that second stage off in the trees.
Yep.
Oh, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the kicks off party that they put together was Jet on the main stage too, which is cool. I got to go on the fucking main stage right away. Was Jet Boy, LA Guns, Warrant, and Kicks. And I don't know if you saw any of the video of that. We killed it, and we actually had 2 brand new songs that me and Billy Rowe had written together called Strip Down and Little Miss Sin Eater. And we performed them there and held it down, man. It was good. If you watch that concert, it's pretty funny. There's a shot in there where I just fully slam a Corona center stage with the band completely stopped. Fucking, it was pretty funny, pretty good. And another thing is the night before the gig, everybody goes and parties at Clyde's Bar. I don't think it's there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
Who the fuck wasn't there? I was sitting with Sebastian Bach and fucking blah, blah, blah. All these people, you know, that I fucking pretty much grew up having posters on my wall and shit. And I went, if you know me, I'm the dude that will go to an after party and the rest of the band goes home and shit. And I'll have to get a ride home at 6 o'clock in the morning and don't even know where I'm at. I went and fucking partied at the fucking, whatever the big hotel is there all night.
At the time, it was the Sheridan.
Yes. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, I remember being at this party, and there was only still a couple of us still partying in the room. I had people who were asleep and shit. So I remember going, God damn, I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to play today. And dude, the sun's already coming up. So I reached over. I remember I took somebody had to have a pack of cigarettes laying on the floor. I fucking stuck a cigarette in my mouth. Went out front into the sun in the same fucking clothes I've had on since yesterday. And I called, who was one of my band members, and they sent a taxi. I got in the taxi. I went back to the room, took a shower, changed my clothes, and went off to the Merriweather Pavilion. And the rest is history. I partied my fucking balls off that night, too.
Nice. Did those 2 songs you wrote with Billy ever get a formal release?
They didn't, but you know what's funny? I remember I didn't even know who Eddie Trunk was at this time. And that song was going to go on Eddie Trunk's show. And it never did. But I've got a couple of songs that me and Billy had recorded. We were getting ready. They came to Fresno to a studio here to start recording new songs. So I've got some really cool rough demos and stuff of like 4 Jet Boy songs you'll never hear. Although later on when they got Mickey back in the band, I heard those songs with different lyrics on that record that they made after me.
Huh.
But I got the originals and they're pretty cool.
Nice, man.
What's smart ass saying? I don't wear any underwear, Heber. Come on, damn it, you know that. What kind of underwear do you got on, Heb?
Nice. hey, DK, a fun like blast from the past. Tell us a fun story or something fun about Smash Alley.
Oh, Slam Alley.
Sorry, Slam Alley.
All right. Here's a good story that comes to mind. I remember Slam Alley was a band that we formed here in Fresno after I lived in LA. I had a band called Dirty Dealin', and I had gotten a record deal, and it was the same time, I mean, literally like the same week that Ugly Kid Joe had got their record deal. So I remember we played a show in Orange County at a club called, it was in Westminster. It was called The Marquee. And I was still, 19 years old. I remember it was Dirty Dylan, Ugly Kid Joe, and Kick Tracy, if you remember who Kick Tracy was.
Yeah.
With the No Rules album. So that was a pretty good show. Some of my old musician friends who were actually really good was putting together another band here in Fresno. Because I was the dude, I'm moving to LA, and we all made a plan to do it, and then a couple people chickened out when it came to time. So I just went and we took the name of the band and we found new musicians in LA. So we formed, and that night that I'm talking about, we played. A couple of the guys from Fresno came down, and it was Christian, my singer, who later on went and played in the Kidney Thieves, if you know that band. And my old drummer, and they're like, man, you got to come. And this is when I played guitar. I wasn't even singing at this time. I was just the lead guitar player. It was like, oh, if we can have you and the bass player I was with, we could put together the fucking band. And I was like, man, the singer was so good. He was like a natural Sebastian Bach and stuff. And this is like when Slave to the Grind came out, man. And that was my kind of shit, you know, guitar playing wise. And just, that was the time, you know, that was the street rock vibe. You know, there was like Sleeves Bees and a lot of street rock, Skid Row. So anyway, I moved back to Fresno for just a year. We formed that band. Then we all moved back to Hollywood. You ever seen that movie, A Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah.
There really is a club called the Roxbury on Sunset Strip. It's a small place. It's not the place in the movie by any means. It's a 2-story venue. And downstairs is where they have the smaller stage, and upstairs is where they have the bigger stage. And I mean, like all the actors from 9 on 210 and all of that shit, they all hang out there. You know, we look like a bunch of, you know, rock and roll dirt heads and shit. And everybody else is pretty, you know, limousined up and stuff like that. So there's this man while we're playing. We were talking to him before we went on stage. And then he kept calling himself like the mayor of fucking San Francisco or something. This guy had a suit on and shit. And he goes, and this is back when we're all broke, pretty broke, right? We're all sharing an apartment and shit. And he goes, you guys can have whatever you want. I'm going to open a tab for you guys, right? Well, first of all, he bought us like fucking $300 bottles of fucking champagne, like Dom Perignon, all this expensive shit. And it was like, man, we just tore through that. Couldn't tell if it was fucking Thunderbird wine or fucking $400 glass of fucking champagne. We're slamming that shit back. It's almost time to go jam. And then he goes, all right, you guys have no taste, no tongue for fucking, you know, good shit. So he goes, I'll just open up whatever you want. So it was Long Island and fucking shots all after that. Dude, there was a point where I was ordering drinks for everybody in the fucking room. So at the end of the night, he paid the tab and he goes, what are you guys doing now? What are you guys doing later? And I go, shit, I don't know, taking a ride in your limousine? And he goes, all right, that sounds good to me. And then it was like, are you serious? And he goes, yeah. So he drives us back to our little apartment so we could change out of our sweaty clothes. And then we go get some hookers. We went and there was a couple of us that didn't go, that stayed back at the place. But me and my singer, my drummer, we all went out with this dude, right? We drove around like a goddamn fucking movie in the 80s at night looking for hookers and shit on fucking Sunset. And then we went up to where the Troubadour is up on fucking Santa Monica. And we picked up a couple of hookers. And I'll just leave the stories that be at that point. All I remember is he got them into the limo and he threw down a pile of cash on the floor. And those girls were fighting over the money. And then we all just kind of laid back.
Nice.
That's a Slam Alley story straight from Hollywood, 1994-ish.
Nice. For anybody that's watching now, DK, that's unfamiliar with your previous bands, you know, we've talked about Slam, we've talked about Beggars, and we've talked about Demolished. Are those records still available through Devil Doll?
Yes, they are. Demon Doll Records has
all my names are fucked up.
I think there's 2 of the Slam Alley, because originally, well, actually, I think there's 3. Originally, it was just one song that was on a compilation. And Lance is an old friend of mine from when I used to work at FM station in North Hollywood. And his cousin, I think, had started that label, and later he just went in to control the whole thing. But yeah, you can get the Slam Alley, you can get the Beautifully Demolished, and you can get the Beggars Ball record. And you know what? If you haven't heard that Beggars Ball record, boy, you need to hear that one. That was my Hollywood band in 03, 04-ish. We went to like 05, 06. We made 2 killer fucking records. And I was the only American in that band. Everybody else was from different countries. And it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, man, absolutely. Angel, let's kick it back to you, my guy.
I love that. We could talk about that song.
Can't hear shit.
Sorry, one more time, Angel.
Can you talk about Man on a Mission?
Write that shit down on a sign and hold it up.
Hold on.
Or text it to fucking Jay.
That's all good. Hit us with it one more time, buddy. I think we're fighting again a little bit with something. So DK, when it comes to the second half of 2024, so you've got your European shows, the tour that you're about to do, as well as your basically pre and post American tour, American shows that you're doing. They're kind of bookending your tour. Is playing out live the current plans for KV right now since the album's out? Are you guys right now just looking to hit the pavement as far as playing live?
Yeah, you know, like we did with the Revenge record, we played fucking that for years. You know, I would hate to not give this the full bore. You know, we get the full touring out in Europe and UK and stuff for sure. Here in the US, like I said, man, it's tough, you know. We don't just want to go tour to tour. We want to play, you know, and we've done a lot of, you know, we go from nice spots. I think it's just like any band. You can go from playing a nice place to playing a shithole tomorrow. And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter as long as people show up and we make that fucking money.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of laziness on the part of getting the music out there. You know, back in the day, if we heard a band, it'd be like, shit, who was this? And then you'd find out they're coming through your town and you'd go. Like the first time we heard about Guns N' Roses, we all, you know, and a lot of special bands that did all the clubs.
Yeah.
But there's got to be clubs to do. You know, that's why I think the smart thing to do is we take a couple of bands like us and we make a package out of it. And then we go town to town. You know, we got to make believers out of them. And that's why we have this album out there.
Yeah.
But this album needs some fucking radio play. That needs something. So, you know, at this point, it's up to, you know, you guys, the KV mob.
For sure.
Spread it around. These songs are too fucking good to not be heard and not be played at maximum volume in a fucking arena somewhere. You know, we played big fucking festivals. You know, we can handle that fucking stage with the baddest of them.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
When you're getting out there to do shows and you're looking for bands and peers to do those shows with you, is there a particular like focus or kind of like blueprint that you like to look for how you want your tour packages to go? A certain look? Obviously the sound has to be there because a band can look like $1 million, but if they sound like 10 cents, then obviously you're not gonna, it's gonna be a discredit to the show, you guys, and the crowd. How do you like to look at the bands that you play out with? Is there any particular formula that you try to look for?
Well, as far as touring and stuff like that goes, well, first and foremost, you know, you got to like the guys. You got to get along, you know. That's, you know, neither here nor there, but that's the truth. Of course, we want to have kind of a package. It's not like we're going to go out and tour with the goddamn fucking, you know, something that's not rock and roll. But we want to show that we want to play with bands who got a show that connect, that's entertaining. We want a band that's driven. We don't want no lazy motherfuckers. We need everybody to promote. We need every last person at these shows. And of course they got to be good. Of course, we want to have bands that are like us, the next level, you know, and serious ones. And yes, we do want to have a band that's fun to be with, fun to play with, gives the audience a really good night, a good package, you know. I've always said that an amazing fucking US tour would be Kickin Valentina, Cruel Intentions, and Hardcore Superstar.
Yeah.
That would be shit,
Yes.
you know, and we've played those kind of shows already with these bands
Yeah.
and done stuff. That's where we see all those same kind of fans and fan bases. And I tell you, Europe and UK, boy, they're down. You know, they're down. They love their rock. They come, they show up,
Oh yeah.
and they're looking for some ear candy. So, you know, and a lot of them already have heard of us. You know, a majority of them. You know, from all the bands they love over there. You know, it's kind of like when you go on YouTube and you run a video by a band, and then it'll suggest another band like it. That's where a lot of these bands come and fall together. There's a lot of great bands out there. You know, here in the States, kind of the same old shit. You know, there's a lot of great bands, but I mean, it just seems like if you didn't have a fucking song back in the 80s, nobody's interested. And we're running out of that kind of shit. It's time for the new motherfuckers. And not just anybody. Let's see the hard work, man. Let's see the numbers. Let's see the fan base. You know, we got that. It's getting bigger and better. You know I talk a fucking lot. It's because I'm passionate about it. And I've been in this business my whole life. I've never done anything but music since I was 14 years old. So, and it's too late to turn back now, you know. So I'm all fucking in.
No, absolutely. Carla says she would definitely dig a tour with you guys and Faster Pussycat.
Yeah, you know, we want to, nothing against Pussycat. We play with them a shitload of times. Last time we played with them, we sold out the fucking 37 main with Scully, Faster Pussycat, and us. I think it was another band. But we want to play with new bands. We want to. We're the new, man. We did all that. We did all jamming with all those 80s bands. I did in high school. You know, the difference between all of those bands and me and my guys is the music changed. So we didn't get the ticket to ride the bus. Although we were right there when it all happened, and we had bands with a lot of interest. I've had a few record deals. You know, times changed.
Yeah.
And we've stayed around long enough. You've got so much different music. And here we are back again. I've never been anything but rock and roll. And I've watched a lot of my you know, my peers, my musician friends go through identity crisis, like, oh, it's Marilyn Manson's in, so I guess I got to go and be a Marilyn Manson. Yeah. Or, you know, Static X is in, or it's grunge time. Maybe I need to go get me a flannel and start playing this way. You know, you lose yourself trying to become, that's what a fucking cover band is these days. If you're going to be all them styles, you might as well get paid for it. But in an original heart and an original mind, either you got something special, and as you make your records, people can tell. You know, they can see the progression. We don't come out with a song like this in a song completely that's not us. We still live under that same fucking sleazy umbrella. We just find new songs to get you off while we're under that umbrella.
Right. Like the thing that I've always loved about Kickin Valentina, I love again about, you know, you and the guys. And I mean, people that know me, know you, and like are watching the show, you know, I'm sure plenty of them are thinking, well, it's easy for him to say that. He's talking to his peer, he's talking to his friend. But in reality, the thing I've always respected so much about Kickin Valentina is the fact that you guys have a really modern sound, but you can tell the influences, but you don't. But the thing about KV is you guys by no means sound dated.
You know, that's exactly, you know, in the hundreds and hundreds of reviews, that's a reoccurring thing. It's like, man, it takes you back, it gets you off. Our music gets you off like a lot of your favorite bands got you off back in the day. But by no means can you say it sounds like this, or, you know, we still, yeah, you're very right. It's very special like that. We keep what you like about all of those legendary bands, and we add our own, ingredients to it. And we're very much a live band.
Yeah.
When we tour and we do many sound checks with many bands, we're usually the only band that doesn't have any backing tracks or any bells and whistles, dancers, fucking none of that shit. We're the band that the sound man goes, holy shit, we got a rock band in the house. Good or bad, it's fucking loud, it's aggressive, it's in your face, it's loose, and it's now. It's now. Every night is different, I try to do that on stage. I don't do any overthinking. I just go out and do shit.
Yep.
I got a lot of experience on stage, so I don't worry about the little things, I've got that in my back pocket. I just want to make sure I connect tonight. If we don't leave that place with everybody's hands in the air, then we didn't do the job. And I'll be honest with you, we have not left a fucking stage with everybody's hands in the air and feeling full and going off on a good note. Normally we come back and have to do encores that we didn't even prepare for yet.
Right.
So now when we tour, we have secret songs that we hold on to because we know we're going to be coming back.
Yep.
And it's gotta sound good, and it's absolutely gotta look good. And if we leave you wanting more, then we'll see you next year with the next record, and you bring 10 more fucking friends and we'll do it again.
Absolutely. It's loud and unapologetic.
That's right.
100% for sure. And speaking of loud and unapologetic, fans, Metal Summoners, we love you guys, and we are going to be always unapologetic on this show, but at the same time, in letting you want more out of us, it is going to be last call for alcohol there, fans. DK's been very, very generous with his time, and we still got him for a little bit longer because we are rocking out and having a good time. But in respect to him, we don't want to eat up all of his evening also. So, guys, it is going to be last call for alcohol. Any final questions, comments, anything you want to tell DK, any questions you want to ask, now's the time to do it. We will absolutely clear the board because we always do. But it is going to be that time, guys. So make sure that you pump him in so that way we can see him. Angel, let me kick it back down to you, my guy.
Can you talk about Man on a Mission? I love that song.
Yeah, that song's awesome. That's one of my favorites too.
Like lyrically, what? How long did it take to write that song?
Originally, I had a whole nother title and a whole nother melody for that song. I think there was a couple of those that was like, I wanted to work harder on them, we demoed them, and then I come back and I don't want just I'm not okay with just having filler shit. I want every fucking song to be something special. Every song is a chapter in the book, like I told you. It's its very own movie, but yet it's all in the same book, that we call Star Spangled Fistfight. Man on a Mission. I'm trying to think, what was it originally called? Heber or Chris or one of you guys, if you're in here? I want to think it was, I don't know. But I remember that I scrapped all the lyrics and I started again with the one idea, which was the title, I'm a Man on a Mission. And the original chorus was, I'm a man on a do or die mission tonight. And then I remember when I was just testing the mic for Andy in the studio, because he makes me do it a bunch of times to get a level. I was just fucking up. And I said, I'm a man on a motherfucking mission tonight. And he goes, that's what you need to be doing. I go, right, that's exactly. He goes, man, you don't give a fuck, right? And I go, I don't give a fuck. That's what's unapologetic about us, I say what I want. We don't censor ourselves. I mean, we live in a world now where there's fucking hit songs with the beep, 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 bleep, bleep, bleep shit all over it. And, to say that, to use curse words on a song is one thing, but to have conviction behind that shit is a whole nother thing.
I sing that song. It's like my anthem. I sing it every
That's
day.
awesome. That song is a fucking anthem. That song is about driving, man. That's about being hungry. That's about fucking driving the shit over the fucking cliff. Make way, man. I'm a man on a motherfucking mission tonight.
Every night.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites. I love that one. Goes over really well too. Live. A lot of these songs, we put them into a live setting now with the whoa. I start that stuff early to just fucking hook you up, and then you'll be singing that whole shit with me. And that's another thing about the writing, being savvy enough to have that hook to where it works in a live setting. And I think that really works to death on this new album.
This is our perfectly said. How does it go?
What's that?
This is our lifestyle. That's how it goes.
Yeah. This is our lifestyle. How does it go? And then they say, whoa, whoa. Yeah. And then the next one is, well, the first one, because they both are the same thing. But in the lyrics, yeah, it's just kind of like fucking, this is how we roll. I'm a man on a mission, being hungry, being driven. I got the heart of Las Vegas burning in my soul. I got the eye of the tiger playing rock and roll. Still got the scars from a long lost Saturday night. I'm a man on a motherfucking mission tonight. And you know what? Now that you said that's your anthem, I'm gonna make sure that's your fucking song.
Yep.
You should put that up on your Facebook. If we ever make a video, I need you in it.
Definitely, I'm down for it.
You're the man on the motherfucking mission.
Yes, I love that one too, Angel.
Yeah, the whole album's fucking killer. We're very happy with it. Any other questions, mobsters?
Got anything coming in there, mobsters?
Who am I going to be seeing in Buford, Georgia? Is anybody coming? I know we just dropped it like a day or two ago, but yes. And as far as you go, Jay, and as far as you go, Angel, you guys have got to come to the Whiskey A Go-Go. You will, trust me, you will thank me at the end of your life when you go, man, I got to go fucking first time and hang out with fucking the KVmob at fucking Hollywood. Dude, I lived in Hollywood for 13 years back in the day. So it's still exciting because I don't go there too often anymore. But it's still a whole lot of fun when you're with the right folks.
Hey, DK, this Heber guy says he may show up to that show.
Well, tell him we already got somebody else, and we'll give him a call.
They got somebody new.
Ah, perfect. We found somebody new, Heb. And he's all in tonight.
Hell yeah. DK, so you guys, when it comes to your the records you guys have been putting out and your involvement with your fans, your Indiegogo's have been like a really big thing for you guys. What has it been? What's a little bit of the story just behind working with like the Indiegogo programs, like to allow your fans to be so involved with your records?
That whole thing is a trip, but it is such a tool. Chris and the other guys have take care of a lot of that. I'm not there in Atlanta for a lot of this. I just help design what we need, help get the word out. We do have little meetings like what are we going to offer this year for the special perks, which this year was the Who the Hell is Kickin Valentina t-shirt and hoodie, of course patches. And for those who don't know, before every record, we get the Indiegogo campaign up, and people donate, and that's what helps us pay for the album, the music videos, and with that money, we also get you guys a whole bunch of great items, one-of-a-kind items, only available through the campaign. And I tell you what, they every year so far they have just shown up. Amazing, financially, they make these records, not us. We just record the records. They fucking make the records, and for that we're eternally grateful. I'm telling you, they're the fucking best. At our age, man, it's kind of like still having the coolest circle of friends in town. Except we got the coolest circle of friends on earth. and there's no bullshit. And that's why we hang out with y'all and stuff. We're not these untouchable people that you only see on these little, devices or whatever. Shit, you're having a barbecue? Where's my invite?
Yeah. Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, Heber says it's a great way to get the fans involved in the project.
That's true.
100%, man. Absolutely. Angel, let's kick it back to you, man, as we take it around the table one more time, and then we'll let DK rock out a little bit with his evening.
That's about all clear. We can't wait to come out to the West Coast. We're coming to the whiskey.
Coming to the whiskey. Absolutely.
Don't be fucking with me. Are you coming?
I'm coming. Do we get
Say that again, Angel?
we get to introduce like in Atlanta?
Can we introduce you on stage?
Absolutely. I don't see no problem with that.
Yes.
Hey, yes. We had a great time.
Absolutely.
And look at that. What a fucking way to go. Your first time at the whiskey, and you get to go up on the stage and introduce the band?
Sounds good to us.
That's the fucking way to do it. You get to go to the rainbow. You get to fucking kiss the fucking Lemmy statue with the bow.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to be mad if you don't go. You should go, because you know what? There's a lot. You'll be surprised how many of you will be there. And not only for the whiskey, they come to Fresno too. And if you're here already, dude, you must come to Fresno. You're going to love it. You're going to meet a bunch of new people that you wouldn't have met otherwise, that you'll probably remain friends, and they will be loyal listeners. You guys are like celebrities too, don't forget. You guys are ambassadors for the fucking rock and roll community.
For sure. No, we love it. We take all that stuff seriously. That's why, like I said earlier, I was like, when we were talking about like, buying, likes and stuff like that, I was like, look, we might not be the biggest show in the world, but every single fan that we have, we acknowledge them. And like I said, Angel and I have never opened up our wallets, nor will we, to spruce up what looks like the clout of this show. It's like, nah, man, this is our show. It's incredibly genuine, and it's going to stay that way.
Yeah. At the end of it all, win or lose, it was genuine. And that's a good feeling, just you work harder. I'm not knocking anybody who goes and buys the likes, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of these fucking record labels and opportunities and whatnot and festivals and gigs, man, if you don't have a certain number that they're looking for, they won't even give you a look.
Yeah.
And our numbers are really good, because of you guys, because, at some point it does have to be about the talent. And that's what we got, so we've gotten spades, I'm telling you. And not to sound cocky, it's just we put in the work for fucking 20, 30 years and still doing it very well, and still being inspired enough to bring new content to a new sound. This is the new classic rock as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to stop just because I didn't get fucking open for goddamn Motley Crue or Kiss, although I would have loved to do that back in the heyday, or even have the experiences like them. Gene said it, pretty much, that the rock business is dead.
Yeah.
That's the business, Rock and roll is not dead.
Yeah.
You take your ass over to Europe and UK and see for yourself.
Absolutely, man. 100%. DK, before we let you rock out and rock and roll into the night for now, where can KV and yourself?
I sound like an Ace Frehley song.
We don't want you to rock and roll too far over.
All right.
Nah, no worries, brother.
Later.
DK, where can you and KV be found for everyone who's looking?
Oh, well, we're available on all the platforms, If you want to stream the album, we're on all major platforms. Of course, we're also on, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find, the place to go where you guys all gather is on Facebook. It's the Kickin Valentina mob fan site. So I'm sure you can see all the links. You can go to find me at DKRevelle on Facebook, Chris Taylor, Jimmy Burdine, or Heber Pampillion on Facebook. Of course, you go to our merch store and you read up about us, catch up with us at kickinvalentina.com. For all of the shows coming, for all you folks in the UK, head on over to the KV Facebook, and we have every show and all the ticket links available, and they're selling fast, man. So get in there and get you and a friend a ticket, and we'll see you at the rock show.
Absolutely. We love everybody that comes out to these shows, but we love all those fans that come out to the shows and bring a friend.
That's right.
Yes, we definitely love
You know
that.
what?
Sure.
Because we were the friend at some point, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were the plus one,
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what we like to see. Come for the first band and stay for the last band.
100%. Absolutely. Thanks for the love there, Carla. We appreciate you tuning in tonight for sure. Metal Summoners,
Yes.
you guys so much. Right there it is. Star Spangled Fist Fight. That is the new and current Kickin Valentina record that just came out this year that the boys are going to be putting boots to ass and foot to pavement for the next little while to get it out there. They got the show in Georgia, Fresno. They've got the Whiskey A Go-Go show. They're playing with Bad Marriage. They're playing overseas with the Midnight Devils. Make sure you guys are coming out, showing a lot of love and support to these guys. Metal Summoners, we appreciate you guys so much. And again, first and foremost, thank you on behalf of ourselves to the great DKRevelle, our friend, our family, our brother, rocking out with us this evening. Make sure that you're supporting him on his socials and Kickin Valentina on all of their socials. Shout out to Jimmy and to Heber, who we saw tune in tonight. Shout out to Chris, of course, as well. We love him. And again, shout out to you guys as well. Make sure that you're following Angel at Angel Alamo 78 on Instagram. You can also follow him on Facebook as well. You can find me on Instagram at Salem.vampire. And you can also find our colleague as well, Psycho Steve, at The Real Psycho Steve on Instagram as well. Make sure that you guys are following the Metal Summit for Instagram. As far as that's where we put out the announcements first, but definitely make sure that you're liking, following, and subscribing to the Metal Summit Facebook page and the YouTube page, because that's exactly what you're watching DK on right now. That's where the interviews take place, is Facebook and YouTube. So make sure that you guys are checking it out right there. Shout out to one of our show sponsors and our friend of the show in the Mad Chat. We appreciate him. He designed that bitchin' intro that you guys got. And make sure that you guys are taking a look and subscribing to the Mad Chat channel over on YouTube. So Shad, thank you so much for that, my friend. But again, Metal Summoners, it's about you guys. KV Mob, it's definitely about you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing DK so much love, so much support, and so much support to the guys. And make sure you're getting out to the live music, and we look forward to rocking out. Again, on behalf of DK, on behalf of Angel, on behalf of myself, we will see you guys soon. We got some cool announcements coming out over the weekend for next week's episodes. It's going to be another great time. Take care, be good to each other, and have yourselves a fantastic weekend. We love you guys. We're signing off. As always, you've been watching the Metal Summit.